Hey everyone, it's Katie here, and I am sorry that it's been so long. At least it feels like it's been so long since my last update. Last update I made was my live pregnancy test. It was actually my second test technically third test that I had taken that day, but I kind of knew what was going to pop up, but it was still awesome seeing those words. So I haven't updated since then just for a couple reasons. First of all, if you can't tell, I have like residual sinus leftoverness. My daughter had a cold, and then I got a cold, and I'm still trying to recover. And I've spent about like a week and a half trying to get over this. And husband's calling. Spent about a week and a half trying to get over this, and just have this cough now, and so yeah, that, and I'm getting like really bad headaches from this, which I think is developed into a sinus infection in this area. But it's getting better, and I really don't want to take antibiotics because I'm pregnant. So, and also this pregnancy so far, let me just say, like my first pregnancy with my daughter was pretty much textbook, really no complications throughout the entire pregnancy until the end. It got a little sketchy. That was in my like last week of pregnancy. But other than that, I had a pretty like textbook pregnancy with her, no scares or anything like that really. So this has been different like from the start. Let's just start back to September 2nd. I started spotting that day and I spotted the next day. In those 2 days I had mild cramping, and my period was due around September 1st. So obviously it didn't come on the 1st. On the 2nd, I thought, okay, I'm spotting. This is it. So went the 2nd and the 3rd, spotting and cramping, and I was kind of getting frustrated that I wasn't starting because I was thinking I was right there on the edge and not starting, and I was very frustrated because I just wanted to start with a new cycle because I had been tracking my temperatures, tracking with OPKs, and tracking other signs of ovulation. And it was just my first cycle of doing that, and I was so confused, and I felt like we had totally missed it this cycle, so I just wanted to start my period and start over. So then when I woke up on September 4th, I had not started my period still. My husband was home from work that day, so I took an internet cheapie, and like the faintest line showed up. I mean, had I not been looking, I totally would have just missed it. I would have thrown it away. Like, I went and showed my husband, and he was like, yeah, I see something, but he's like, I think you're just looking too hard. And I told him, no, this is different. I've never, all the tests that I've taken of this kind before have just been like white, and there's like a little something here. So he left and went to a coffee shop that day, and while he was gone, I went out and got a pack of First Response and a pack of the Clear Blue Easy digital tests, and you saw me take the digital one. Before that, I took the First Response, and this is what I got. Whoops, might help if I do it the right way. I don't know if you can see that. I'm capturing with my laptop, so it's not going to capture it as well. So the dark line is the control line, and the light line is the test line. So obviously that was a positive, no question about it. So I took the digital. I thought I was about 18 DPO, days past ovulation, but I was really unsure, like because my line was so light, I really wasn't sure when I ovulated. There was there was 3 different days that I could have ovulated based on my temperatures. I never got a positive OPK reading. I was just temping, basically just going off of temps. There were 3 different days. So I could have either been 18, 11, or 8 DPO on the 4th when I got that first positive. So I called the doctor, let them know. They put an order for blood work up at the front desk, and I went and got it on September 5th, and all excited, even though I was still spotting. The day that I took my test on the 4th, I stopped spotting, and I went to work that night and worked like crazy. Then the 5th was a Thursday, got my blood work done. That night, my spotting for a couple minutes turned red, and I passed like the teeniest, tiniest little clot, and it went back to brown, but I called the nurse the next day, let her know, and she said that they were still waiting for the blood work results to come back. Called me later that afternoon and said that my HCG levels were only 45, which if they were going based off of my period, which last one was August 5th, that was an incredibly low number. So they said based on that, plus the fact that I was spotting, I had a little bout of red spotting. I mean, they didn't come straight out and say it, but I knew that they were thinking miscarriage. So told me to come back in a week. I went back the following Wednesday. In the meantime, I still continued to take my tests at home and watched my line get darker because that wait is more agonizing than the 2-week wait to try and find out if you're pregnant. Like, knowing if the pregnancy that you do have right now is going to continue or succeed is way, 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 way worse than the 2-week wait. So to kind of help ease my mind, I continued to test with the first response. The 6th, the line, I'll just show you, compared to the 4th. Line was obviously getting darker. This is the 7th, which you can't really see a whole lot of difference in the 6th and the 7th. I was trying to do them every other day, but I think I just kind of got ahead of myself. So the 9th was when my lines were pretty much even. So I was, still very, very hopeful at this point. It was giving me hope because the lines were continuing to get darker, although no reassurance from anybody on like Baby Center. They're like, don't trust the lines because I got a miscarriage and still had a dark line. I'm like, oh, great, thanks. Finally, on the 11th, I went back for more blood work, but I didn't get them until later on. On the 11th, my test line was finally darker than my control line, so it was really, really exciting. I was super, super excited. The 11th, I actually went and had my second set of blood work done, and I got those results. That was a Wednesday. I got my results on Thursday, the 12th, and my numbers in 6 days had gone from 45 to 927. So I was ecstatic, of course, jumping up and down. My daughter was looking at me like, you're crazy. And so I was really, really excited about that. However, that was, like I said, a Thursday that I found out. I went to work. I had gone to work again that Wednesday, and I cater, so it's like a really, really high-paced, lots and lots of activity, very busy. I was there for 10 hours on my feet and sat down for probably 5 to 7 minutes total just to eat a piece of pizza that night, and that was it. That was the only time I sat down. So Thursday, get the good results back. Thursday night, I had another bout of the red spotting again. So called the doctor's office on Friday. They wanted me to go again for another set of blood work. I was so frustrated because I just wanted to be seen by a doctor just to make sure that everything was okay. But yet again, they sent me for a third set of blood draws. And not to mention, throughout these 3 tests, these 3 blood draws, I got stuck 5 times because I have really small veins. I'm a hard stick. And the first time the lady hit my nerve. So I don't really have feeling in this part of my arm. She stuck it in there. It was not producing, obviously, because it was in a nerve. And it was just shooting pain through my arm. And I'm pretty good with blood draws. I don't have issues with that. But I was sitting there this hurts. And usually it doesn't bother me. And she's like, okay, is it still hurting? Yeah, it's still hurting, pulsing pain through my arm. So she's like, yeah, I'm not really getting anything. I'm just going to pull it out. And then she's like, sometimes there's nerves and you hit those. I'm like, yeah, that's pretty much what you did. So I don't have feeling in the top part of my arm from that. And so anyway, on the 13th, which was my birthday, I went back for my third set of blood draws. I try to keep myself busy over the weekend, and I did take one more test on the 14th, which would have been Saturday, and my line still continued. It's kind of probably hard to see on camera, but it continued to get darker. My test line did. But nonetheless, I was still, very, very happy to see that my line was not getting lighter, because on my orders I could see that, they were pretty much thinking that I was miscarrying. So anyway, I got my results back yesterday. The night. What is yesterday? What's the date? What's today? I think today is the 16th. I don't know. All of a sudden, poof! There goes all my sense of time. So I think yesterday was the 16th. No, 15th. And my blood results, my blood test in 2 days, it went from 927 on the 11th, and on the 13th, my results were 2,241. So my numbers are great. Everything in the numbers is looking fantastic. However, I'm still having this brown spotting. So it's really, really driving me crazy. Today I finally called back the nurse and politely demanded, to see the doctor, because even though my numbers are doing what they're supposed to do, I am kind of put off by the fact that they don't seem to be bothered at all by the fact that I'm spotting. Yes, I know spotting is completely normal in pregnancy. However, with my first pregnancy being textbook, never having one, bout of spotting, it kind of concerns me. Plus, there are multiple reasons why somebody could be spotting. Some are more severe, some are less severe. But I was just thinking that, the doctor's office would, maybe have some sort of, maybe they should be interested in this, trying to figure out, make sure that everything is okay with me. I don't think it's an ectopic pregnancy, especially because my numbers are doing so well. However, it could be that. And I'm still like 5 or 6 weeks along, and I don't think people really start having bad pain with ectopic pregnancies until week 7 or 8. However, spotting is very normal. So I just want to make sure everything is in place, in the right place, that there's no bleeding behind the placenta or anything like that. So I, thank goodness, was able to move my ultrasound up by a week and a half. I go next Monday, the 25th. Man, my sense of dates are way off. 23rd, I think. And then that's just the ultrasound. The next day I go in to meet with the midwife because she's not there on Monday. So right now everything is looking good numerically. Symptoms-wise, everything's looking great. However, I still have the spotting, and it's just been a ridiculous roller coaster. One day I'll feel fine. The next day I will be doubting the pregnancy, and it's been a crazy, crazy ride because we can't even be excited yet because we feel like we're just on pins and needles. So that's it for the story that I have so far. And this is going to be a 2-part video. This is going to be it for part 1, and I'm going to see you guys over at part 2, and I'm going to go over, just more of the general week 5, 6-ish update, and what I'm feeling, how I'm feeling, and all that jazz. So I will see you over there for part 2. Bye-bye.